Okay, so here's the title of my new book, and this is about change. That title says, Don't F It Up. And Don't F It Up is about change. So here's how that title arose. I, as a CEO, as you heard in the poem, I've done the CEO thing for about 20 years, and I took the reins over of a company. The CEO of that company asked me to join his company. His company was very successful. He'd been running it for about 15 years. It was $350 million in revenue, selling products mostly to the federal government. And he was eager to have me come in and take over the reins of his company. However, he was not that eager for me to F it up. So he said, I'm about to give you my company, my baby, and you're going to adopt it and be the adopted parent. And I would like you to fix things, change things, make it better, scale it, grow it, so that someday I can sell it. But he said, but don't do this to the company. So what does that mean? What does that mean to me? What would that mean to you if you were brought into a company and the CEO said to you, I'd like you to take over, I'd like you to make it better, but this. So what do you think? Anybody have an idea? What was he saying to me? Somebody over here is going to tell me. Yes, Yankees hat. I'm a not big Yankees fan, but go ahead.
He's holding you back.
Holding me back from doing what?
From changing.
From changing. So he wanted me to fix things, but he didn't really want me to change things. Now why do you think that is? How can you think that?
It's scary.
It's scary. So he didn't want me to adopt any more risk than I needed to, but he wanted change. So really what he wanted was incremental change. He didn't want the change to impact his ability to ultimately get proceeds from his company. So that's interesting. So he's a normal human being, right? He's a normal human being. He's afraid of change, and validly afraid of change. I was taking over a $350 million company, and who am I to do that? And I don't know as much as him about the business, and I needed to change that business, but I needed to change it in a way that did not increase the risk. An almost impossible task, I can tell you that. I've now done this 6 times, and I actually have with me one of the CEOs, not that one, but one of the CEOs from whom I took over, Mike Brody. So give a round of applause for Mike Brody. Mike was one of those guys. Mike had a company that he had run for 18 years at the time that he and I got together, and he asked me to help him out with his company. Companies that are 18 years old are almost entirely, by definition, very successful. And this company, by all stretches of the imagination, was very successful. And my job was to try to grow the company, to increase the value of the company, and do it in a way that didn't F it up. And that was a challenge. One of the things that you'll find in business, especially when you're working with the predecessor, the guy who started it all, who did the magic to create an entity from nothing, is that it's very hard to help them understand why the changes that you're going to make have to be made. Because human nature says, well, wait a minute. So what you're about to change is what I put in place. So therefore, what you're doing is calling me wrong. It's the best way to put it, right? You're calling me wrong. So how do you convince somebody? How do you convince somebody like Mike? How do you think I tried to convince somebody like Mike? And then we'll let Mike answer how I actually did convince him to do it.